What is up, guys? We're going to try something different tonight. We're going to try streaming from the workbench. It won't be as high a quality as we usually have from upstairs, but it should do the trick. So I sunk my quad today. It's drying out behind me. It's sitting in front of the dehumidifier. We'll see how well that goes tomorrow. I don't know how much of the electronics is going to be destroyed or what's going to happen, to be totally honest, but well, I guess it'll be what it'll be. What happened was I lost video. This is my other quad that I'm not going to use anymore, but what happened is the SMA connection let go on the antenna. It backed off, and well, what happened? I saw black in my goggles. I disarmed. Well, actually, I didn't disarm. I peeled the goggles back and kind of half flicked between my goggles and my eyes, trying to find the quad in the air, and it hit the ground, and I disarmed pretty quickly. So it was swamped. It went into a pretty deep mud puddle. Got everything dried out. I did do some video actually on how to dry out a quad. So I don't know. Might be. We'll see if it. Well, for one, we'll see if it's successful first, and then we'll go from there. It might make a good video on the channel. But what I've got, I've been putting this off forever. I've got this 6-inch quadcopter here. This is the GEP-ZX6. Basically the same setup as my 210. A real screamer, crazy race quad, and well, I don't have a spare right now other than this old 250, so I figured I better get moving and build this thing up. I'm putting it off just too long. Man, I thought, what the hell, I'll go live and see what you guys are up to. So hopefully I can see your chats and stuff. This is the first time I've tried streaming live from mobile. It is, like, I'm on Wi-Fi, but I don't know how the quality is going to be. I guess we're going to just sort of play it by ear. I got the soldering irons warming up over here. I got my Unger and my WEP all fired up. I got my third hand and light system magnifier, so we should be in pretty good shape. Basically, I thought if I can at least get the speed controls and the motors mounted tonight, I'd be in pretty good shape. That would be better than what I've done. Throw a message in chat if you can, guys, so I can see if that actually works. Yeah, that would be super cool if you could do that. And I apologize, of course, as the quality won't be as good as upstairs, but it should be pretty darn good. I don't know, we'll find out, whatever. Gives me a chance to hang out with you guys. Thank you, Robert, I appreciate that. Really appreciate that. I'll try and keep up with the chat as best I can. I don't know. I haven't been able to do live shows all winter. For those of you who saw my Friday video, you kind of know why. Armando's here. Cheers, Armando. Brian, this is a 6-inch, so this is a 250, and this is the 6-inch quad. So in wheelbase, we're talking similar, but this is an X frame versus an H. Smaller than a 250. I don't know how you call them a 6-inch, whether you call it a 210 wheelbase or not. I have never measured it, to be honest. So 210, this would actually be a 225-ish wheelbase. So, yeah. But it's my first X-frame. I've never played with one. And I know it's going to be an absolute lunatic in the air. So what I always do is start with, let's just start with the motor. So what we're going to do is the motors are going to go on, and the speed controls are going to go on the arms as well, because this isn't an all-in-one solution. Let me find a speed control. Come on. I don't have even one rubber bag? What the heck? No. Get one out. These are the Little B 30 amp, crazy little ESCs. So what you have to do is remove these pigtails. Nice, good silicone wire. But this is lead-free solder. We gotta get that crap off of there. We'll cut it, we'll get rid of those, and then we'll use the actual motor leads to solder directly to it, and we'll put the ESC something like that right butted up against it. And these things won't overhang the arms much. This thing is going to be, well, it's going to be a lunatic. I can vouch the 210. If you follow me on Instagram, you saw my 210 that went in the drink today. That thing, today was the first day that I was able to get it out and really put it through its paces, and I can tell you that thing it was a blast. And it's the exact same Emax 2205 red bottoms here. Exact same setup in the 30 amp ESC. So what we're gonna do is, well, this might not come through on camera. First thing you do, take your screws and make sure, see how much extension you've got, and we can see how thick the motor bell is here. And what we want to do is make sure that we have enough to bite the motor bell. Well, it's actually not the bell, the motor casing, but without going in and making contact with the windings. And it looks like in this case, this is going to be the only time thus far that I have needed those longer bolts, longer machine screws. Motor base. Thank you, Brian. Now these ones, no, these are even longer yet. We're not going to need that because the ones we have are pretty good. Now the question is, will the shorter ones do it? And I'm going to say right now, probably not. So we're going to need the mediums that come with these 2205s probably. But we'll check. What the heck? Let's see how much. And yeah, not enough bite. That's not enough to capture. So we'll just ditch that. Geez, how many came in each package? So we got 5 in every bag. That's plenty. So we'll go ahead and get these ready to go, and we'll go ahead and fasten them on, I hope. Maybe I can shoot the shit with you guys and catch up. In the meantime, nothing fancy here tonight, guys. Sorry, it's not a Tech Live broadcast, but I just really wanted to catch up with you guys. Kind of missed you all. You guys are, I don't know. The live shows were a big part of everything I did. Cheers, Zach. Hey, buddy. How's it going? What I'm missing? Where did I didn't get an Allen key? What? Usually every one of these comes with spare Allen keys. Maybe I misplaced it. Let's have a look in this one. Yeah, there's one. Use that. Now we're going to need some blue Loctite. And we'll get these ready to Loctite in here. Put this together. Too much junk. I've never done a live stream from the bench here, so this is, sorry guys if it's all over the place, but so be it. I gotta learn sometime. Brian picked up a 450 Alien. Nice. But I never built it up, sitting in an empty frame. Awesome. You should build that up. So today was the first time I've been flying since last year, and oh man, what a riot that, even though I dumped it in the drink, even though I had a video failure and dumped my quad and swamped it, it was the most fun I've had in a long time. What a freaking riot. I did get some footage from the Mobius on board and whatnot, but I'll see if I can share some of it with you guys later. It was just a bloody riot. Sweet. Now, let's make sure we've got our, yeah, I'm going to have to move that PDB, but we will put this motor here. And we're going to set this up so that this will be the front and the rear of the quad. This will be the sides, and our motors are going to rotate inwards to the inside as they always do. And yeah, should be a good little setup. Yeah, what the hell. This one I think I got from GearBest. I forget. I have a a video on the channel. You can check it out if you're interested in the unboxing of this equipment, but it's pretty standard. Emax 2205s and the 30 amp ESCs. And here's a classic beginner mistake. I went too snug with this one. There we go. We'll get all these started, and before the Loctite cures up, we'll snug them down, and then we'll trim all the wires. Huh. I did not notice that. That's interesting. This is something I never run into before. What the heck happened here? What? So only put 2 bloody fasteners in and still managed to screw it up right away. How did that happen? There. This better. Das better. That's what happens when you're trying to stare looking at the backside of the camera to see if you guys are chatting or anything. What's everybody else up to this Sunday night? Anybody building quads or electronics or Arduino or anything cool? I'd love to hear about it. I've been a little behind on all my builds. Hey, Beginners Tech. Cheers, buddy. Glad to have you. I'm glad I set up some moderators and stuff from way back in the day. It'd be a real pain in the ass to try and do these live streams if you were just sort of starting it on mobile. This mobile interface isn't the best. Ah, parenting too. Congrats, Zach. I forgot to call that out. How is the new youngster working out? I'm sure you probably get no sleep. Hopefully things are going well, though. So we're going to go ahead. This isn't... Usually these Allen keys are pretty good, but this one isn't the best. But it'll do. So, there. So since we've got our Loctite on there, we're going to cinch these up. And you don't want to go too crazy or you will strip out the motor. You will strip out the bottom frame. There we go. Look at that. That will be perfect. Repeat 3 more times. I don't think these Emax motors are like top of the line anymore, but for a long time they really were. Oh, crap. Hi, Mohammed. Now, we're going to use the ones that we had in the nut container. These are the mediums, but every time you pull these out, always check them. So what's the cost of the quad? These, I believe, you can check it out on the channel. This is the ZX6. You can find it, the 225, oh yeah, this is what we covered earlier, 225 millimeter. Go back on the channel and you'll find a video with this linked in the description from the supplier that sent it to me. I think it was GearBest. And then double checking, we've got the right, this is the right extension through for these fasteners. Good. We definitely do not want to use the wrong ones. We can start filing. Keep these containers. If you guys ever get these red bottom motors, these containers are perfect for little electronics kits. They fit Arduinos and stuff beautifully in them. They're the perfect size for an Arduino Nano and a breadboard and jumpers. So you can make these cool little kits and like hand them out, as you're going to see on the channel coming up actually in the very near future. I've already done the video for it. We have a giveaway coming up. It's an Arduino Nano custom made electronics kit for you guys. And make sure we got the right. We'll put that on there. So hopefully you guys like it. But I'm sure you guys will be fine no matter what. It should be fun. Nifty little custom made kit. And hopefully we can do some QuadCopter giveaways in the future. Because now that it's back to summer here in the northern hemisphere, I'm looking forward to getting out. Hurry before they close for a good bunch of capacitors. Oh yeah, the Radio Shack stuff. Yeah, end of an era, eh guys? With Radio Shack, it's really too bad. They haven't been real good for a long time, but it's really too bad that most places you literally can't go anywhere to get electronics parts anymore in your local area. It's just extinct. It's we rely on the interwebs. Comment here, make sure if you're building a quad, never ever ever use red Loctite. Don't even think about it. It's blue only for these. Blue only, or you will be very upset with yourself downrange in the future. It will be a very bad day, because with red, the only way to break the bond is with heat, or a ridiculous amount of torque, which on these fasteners would be more than the fastener can handle. It will literally rip the threads out before the Loctite will break. And truthfully, you probably don't even need blue Loctite on these, but I'm a big fan of not having to take things apart again to deal with it, or deal with fasteners coming loose and whatnot. As you're going to see in the video from today, I don't know when it'll air, a couple months, but the quad that's drying out, same motors, I have to dump it in hot water and clean it all out. If you didn't have Loctite in there, and you're going to run into issues just from the thermal expansion. Like, I actually had to run hot water through the motors to clean all the swamp water out. And since I have good quality Loctite 243 blue in there, I know I don't have to ever touch those Allen machine screws ever again. So definitely use some blue Loctite and not red. You can take your chances and use no Loctite if you really wanted, but not my style. I like just doing it once and then it's done. So again, it's a pretty boring process building a quad, eh? It really is. There's nothing too exciting. Each time it's repeat, the same as before. Make sure that you have the same machine screws. You do not want to screw this up through and into the coils in the motor. That's a bad day if you destroy a motor just because you picked the wrong screws out of the package. That's why they give you 3 different lengths in these Emax motors. Again, good reason to use high quality motors. The fact that they give you 3 different lengths instead of just 2 is actually pretty cool. 420 on the motor. I think these are. I'm gonna say they probably are. That's strictly a guess, though. I don't have my chasers or dies here handy, so I can't check that. I'm sure you could Google it and see what the pitch is. But I think they probably are 420. Be more apt to be building this yesterday, wouldn't it? Good video here. Sorry, I missed. This mobile application only lets me see your chat messages for like, it's not very long, guys. So I miss your messages. Sorry, I'm trying. I see there's 26 of you here. That's pretty cool. That's not bad for a Sunday night build. They are metric. Spartacus is here. Cheers, buddy. It used to be the RC cars, and they used 440. I think you are right, Brian. That sounds... If you look... it's like trying to show it on a potato. Like, I'm sure the stream quality isn't good enough for you to see it. But 440, I would say that's probably... Now that you reminded me, I think that's probably where it is. And this is what happens when you get one just a tiny bit too tight. You can't start the others. Where are you located? I am in southwestern Ontario, Canada. What in the hell is going on here? in there. I smeared some Loctite everywhere. You want to make sure you don't get any Loctite near the bearing or bushing in the case of most motors. There, we're good. One more, and then we repeat again. It's kind of like pretty boring, but at least I get to hang out with you guys, shoot the shit. That's fun. And this is going to be a fun little quad at the end of it all. This thing's going to be a riot. Bob B, my home country. Cheers, Bob. It was a beautiful day in southwestern Ontario here. It would have been a hell of a lot better if I didn't lose video and smack my quad into the drink. But to be honest, it was the first time I had that 210 out, so I had fun anyway. Sam's in London. Cheers. London, Ontario, Sam? Or London, England? London, Ontario, you are not that far from me. I am in Goderich, Ontario, which is up the road 98 kilometers from London, Ontario. UK. Yeah, you're a lot further. Not coming to visit anytime soon. You're local to David Watts and a few other people. Not too far. 3 a.m. there. Holy smokes. Are they counter and anti-clockwise? Yes, they are. So each motor, the shaft is threaded clockwise and anti-clockwise or counterclockwise, depending on where you live. And on the motor bells is indicated which direction they rotate. So we're always going to put the rotation into the middle of the quad. And to be honest, did I fuck that up? No. Oh, I did. Well, we can actually change that. We can move the arms. I did screw that up. So this was the direction we started. This was going to be the front and this was going to be the rear. And these two are actually wrong. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and put the last one on, and then I'll just swap the arms. Because what I didn't do is I didn't Loctite these arms. These were just set in there temporary when I initially did the build. So that's what happens when you build while you're streaming. Wouldn't have noticed that for a little bit longer if you wouldn't have pointed that out. Thank you. So easy fix. That's kind of the cool thing about the X-frame. They can be moved wherever you want. Well, I guess it's kind of a neat thing. It's not really that cool, but what the heck. And those should be the correct package for that motor. And then I just keep off camera here, I just keep throwing them all into one bin. And this becomes my spare goodies bin. And these become my cool little Arduino electronics boxes later on. Handy dandy. I love the fact that they fit a piece of perf board. It just blew me away the first time I found out they fit perf board. Are you an electronic engineering technologist? Well, depends on your definition. By college certification? Nope. I am not. I am... By trade, I am a Red Seal certified automotive electronics specialist / repair technologist. But for electronics, no, I have no formal accreditation. Well, I have lots of night schools and whatnot, but no degree, which truthfully I think is just fine, because I find most of the electronics degrees to be a joke, to be honest. In Canada, yes, I am very much located in Ontario, Canada, southwestern Ontario. Good place to be this time of year. Do you still have that printer that prints messages while you send? Yes, I do, but it's in pieces over. It's over there off camera. Yes, I have the Electric Imp Wi-Fi module, and I just need. I could plug it in right now, and you could. The web page is actually still active. If you've been around long enough, cheers that you remember that. That's 2 years ago, I think, since I had that on the the web live shows. Yeah, if you went, the website is actually still live. I could plug it back in if you really wanted. And I did see a message, I'm trying to watch the chat. I did see a message asking, do you think it's okay not to have an electronics degree? And yes, I absolutely think it's just fine. It depends on what you're going for in life. I think it's just fine to not have a degree in many things in life right now. To be honest, Mike Rowe is a guy to check out if you're not familiar with who he is. The guy from Dirty Jobs, a narrator, and just an all-around tradesman. Check out what he has to say on the topic. As far as I'm concerned, he's bang on. I'm a little biased because I am trade certified. I am a tradesman underneath all this. I am an automotive technician, and that was the path I chose to start my career in life. And then I went into wind turbines, and then I specialized in wind turbine software and got into a lot of crazier software stuff and neater hobbies and cool stuff. And I would not change a damn thing that I did. The path I took in life led me to beyond what I could have ever dreamed of in the small town that I'm from. And at the end of it, I do not have a degree. So I think it's just fine to not have one. There we go, guys. Check that out. Now, I've got to disassemble the arms, because look at the motors on the wrong arms. Dope. But minor, easy fix. How far are you from Ottawa? I am about 6 hours from Ottawa, I believe. Yeah, 6 hours would get you here. To the southwest, right along the shores of Lake Huron. In a town touted as the prettiest town in Canada. It was a lot prettier before we got swamped by a tornado a few years back. Alright, we are in good shape. The soldering irons are both heated up. I don't know whether we'll get into... Should we solder the ESCs tonight? Or should we just sort out the arms? Well, at minimum, we've got to sort out the arms. And it would be a good idea to... It'd be a really good idea to Loctite them now versus later, because I'll probably forget later. So I'm thinking this plate, we want this to be, this is going to be forward and back, I think. The PDB is already, actually the PDB is oriented wrong for that too. I think we want our large connections to be forward and back. And this is only, one more question, Micro, is it? Do you get paid building drones? No, I don't get paid for this. This was sent to me free for an online review, which I already did. I definitely don't get paid for these. My day job is wind turbine software. So, and this isn't a micro. This is a 6-inch, fairly high performance 4S to 6S quad. So the instructions are pretty meager on this. They don't even show you basically anything to the plate orientation, but I know I want, these are your battery straps, these little cutouts here, so I know I want them going around the battery with the battery facing this way. Do you leave the video unlisted? I can't watch this now. I'll leave it up. I don't think there's any reason that I can't leave this video up, so you can watch it later. The PDB, I know from experience, the power distribution board, which is this, I think we're going to want the positive and negative main pins for the ESCs to be on the forward and back, just because it's going to be easier, because what we're going to have, where the heck did I put the flight controller? The flight controller, this is the SP Racing F3. We're going to want the USB coming out the side, and it's just going to be easier if we don't have so many large gauge wires getting in our way. So I think that's what we'll do. And now I'll try and watch the chat. Sorry guys. Let's see if we can get a better angle. Better angle? Yeah, maybe a little better angle. And yeah. Great to see someone from Ontario uploading electronics vids. Cheers! Keishawn Johnson. I have been uploading electronics vids from Ontario for a very long time. since 2006, I think. Something like that. This is the first live stream I've ever done of a quad build, to be honest. Alright, back to... This one is right, or correct. This one is correct. This one is incorrect. This one is incorrect. So we just need to do these two sides here. I'm probably going to end up messing this up. And, oh, crap. That's a different size. Figures. How is wind turbines? I'm in high school. Wind energy is an amazing career. I advise anyone out there, investigate it if it's something you're interested in. It is by far one of the smartest moves I ever made in life, was to get into wind, to leave the automotive trade and venture into wind. It was a scary, scary thing, leaving a sure thing, but I can vouch the job satisfaction and career that has come of it is far more than I ever would have got in the automotive trade. By far, no question. It was yeah, it's awesome, awesome industry to be in. Sleep good at night too. It's fun. Oh, frick! I remember that. Try again. That is a standard bit. It's slightly rounded from previous stupidity. Forgot. These are SAE. Let's try one of these. Second time's a charm. Now, does that fit? No, of course that doesn't fit. This is a really crappy Mastercraft set. Definitely would not advise doing this. I know I have better ones in the drawer, but I don't want to spend the next half an hour digging for them. I think this will work. And that's exactly why it's crappy. How much experience do you have with 3D printing? Well, beginner's tech. Just what you've seen on the channel. Going back, when did I get my solid doodle? You can go back in my videos on the channel and find when I got it. It's quite a while ago. 4 years? 3 years? 4 years? Something like that. Quite a bit. It's been a while. Should just mark these. This is going to be monotonous as heck, guys. That one's right. That one's wrong. That one's right. What's going on here? Oh, yeah, that's right. Wrong. Wrong. Right. Wrong. And then this one will be wrong too then. Uno momento. What are you guys up to building tonight? Sorry, I'm going to try and pay attention to the chat just a little bit, but how did I manage to loosen the wrong one? Yeah, well, that would have been smarter, but I already had the Loctite in. I don't have the Loctite on the arms yet to Moricat, so I thought I'd just switch these because it would be easier. I already had Loctite on the I've got to pull all these out anyway because I haven't Loctited any of them. I thought I'd just switch it around, and then what I do is I'll do all the assembly of the ESCs, and then we'll Loctite everything after when we're done. So to be honest, what I can do is I can just basically loosen everything off and just leave it finger tight. None of these were assembled back before Christmas, and none of it got Loctite. To be honest, I'm surprised I even got the components in the right place, because I don't even remember when I set that up. Actually, let's just go ahead and loosen everything off. And then maybe we'll take the crappy lead-free solder off the ESCs tonight. We can do that tonight. I should have just found the better Allen key. This is going to be a fight. That's what happens when you're fighting with junk tools. These things really are a piece of crap. I wouldn't advise anyone ever get one of these. What type of electronics do you repair? You don't use Arduino for my job. No, I don't use Arduino for my job. I've used Arduino. I needed a data logger for a high-end condition monitoring system that was about in the neighborhood of $80,000 US. That the data logger screwed up, but all the sensors were still working, so I quickly whipped one up with Arduino. Now, it didn't have the same bandwidth that the expensive one had, but I was able to do that and used it for my day job and bailed us out of a pretty big jam, which was pretty cool. No, I don't use Arduino in my day job at all. Strictly just for fun, for building the things that I want to build and things that I want to do. This is another quad set on, just sitting on the bench waiting to be put together. JJRC P130 Battler, I think they're called. I may put this together too at some point in the future. CC3D flight controller on there though, so I may swap that to a SP Racing F3 at some point, but we'll see. Time will tell. Right. Wrong. I hope they take the same lipos. This and my 210 do, but that Battler doesn't. It takes a tiny little. That's what happens. I'm watching the chat. It takes a tiny little lipo. I don't even know what it is. I think it's 2, or is it 3? Crap. Got me interested now. 850. I don't know. Do you, Tomori Cat, do you have 850 3 cells kicking around? I don't. Sorry, beginner's tech. I've never used this size of battery. It came with it, and I don't have any. I only will ever have one battery for it. Sticking to one size. Yeah, I hear you. That's pretty much why it's still on the shelf. What do you do? Do you use C, C++? So Arduino is coded in essentially C++. So yeah. I use, well, so my day job stuff is, now that I'm into the coding side of things, it's also coded C++ for some things. Some things Simulink. Sorry, I missed that chat message. I'm trying to keep up. Subscription price. Yeah, I hear you. Well, here, I'll give you guys a sneak peek. What the hell? I've already done, since the video you saw the other day, inside here is a full Arduino electronics kit I put together, ready to give away to a subscriber. And then, I don't know that I'll give that P130 away, just because the shipping from Canada is a bitch on big things like this. It's stupid expensive. Just the customs is... like, well, customs going into other countries, but just to get it out of this country is just such a pain in the ass. So I don't know that we'll do that. I really, it's debatable. We'll see. We will see. We will see. So these two are the same. It's been so long, I don't remember the lengths of screws, or the lengths of machine screws, so there. That one was that one, and then this one is the other one in this row. So, middle. And that guy's channel is micro. Oh, sorry, I must be jumping in on a conversation halfway, so I'll just stay out of it. Yeah, it was a fun day out at the field today until I got dunked in the drink. Everything was fantastic until I went in the drink. And you know what? I don't think I'll seal all these up tonight either. I think I'll just set this in place. Maybe we'll do the ESCs tonight. Maybe not. It's up to you guys. What do you guys think? What should we do tonight? How far should we take it? Oh yeah, I remember this now. Did that sensor grenade for firefighters work? Absolutely. Works fantastic. I was quite proud of that project. It was one of my better achievements. Quad law looks a bit harsh in Canada. Yeah, so unfortunately things finally fell apart for us Canucks. Now, it's a little bit... There's only one thing that sucks. People make a big deal out of quad laws in Canada. I am a MAC member. I am insured and covered by MAC Canada, which is the same as the AMA in the States, except MAC has their own underwriters for the insurance and everything. And I can fly at my local airfield. Everything is fine. The problem comes in is I used to be able to fly anywhere. As long as I had permission from the landowner, I could fly and be fully insured by Model Aeronautics Association Canada and their underwriters and their insurance, no matter where I was. Now, with this 9-kilometer rule from the airport, it's absolute horse shit, because it's not just airports, it's aerodromes, and almost everywhere is within 9 kilometers of a freaking aerodrome. So despite if I have permission, I can't fly there. Now, the funny part comes in is my local club, where I fly, where I was today, we have permission to fly at the local airport, and that's okay. And it's okay with MAC. So Transport Canada needs to really sort their shit out, because it's okay for me to fly at the airport because I have permission with the local club, but I had permission before. As long as I had, asked the landowner or airport owner or whatever, I could fly there, but they made the rule, the 9-kilometer-an-hour stamped in stone rule. So, I don't know. That's my rant on that. That's my only problem with it. Other than that, it's fine. It changes nothing for me. So, we are good. We got this motor going this way. This motor not going that way. How in the hell did that happen? I think I'm New York City. Yeah. It's I don't think I'd want to fly there at all. Because I actually don't think you can. Period. Oh yeah, I had to switch side to side. Yeah. I don't even think I want to show you what I just did, guys. Instead of switching side to side, I switched end to end, and yeah, it's alright though. I got to take those back apart. We can leave those for now. We can just do the SCs. That's fine. So I don't really want to deal with all the Loctite right now anyway, until final assembly. I really don't. So it matters not. Oh, I missed that message. We gotta move camera. I don't know, I might sign off here before too long, guys. I might just touch on one of the ESCs. And then I think we will call it a night. So what I've done before, I can't zoom in, sorry, on this camera. I can't do much. It is what it is. We just slice those off, and we'll get rid of just the top side of the heat sink, or heat shrink, and dump it. Wow, that is resilient stuff. Doesn't matter if we hurt the wire at all because we are going to get rid of it. Only a matter of time. True that. I really wish this... Can I go into any settings here? Sorry guys, I gotta check something. Mute microphone. Nope. Nope. The chat only stays on the screen for approximately maybe 3 seconds, if that. Yeah, then it's gone. What a piece of junk. They need to do some work on their mobile app. Alright, so let's grab... We've got the third hand. We've got 2 different irons warmed up. This is my Unger. I've had this since I was younger than a teenager. This is the WEP, and I keep this. This is a wedge tip on this one, and on the Unger, just a pointed conical tip. And then I keep a spare over here, another from the WEP, and it is the little hooked tip for doing SMD. We're not going to need that tonight. We just are going to need these 2. You could repair phones too. Yeah, I do repair phones from time to time. I try and stay away from phones, to be honest. I really hate dealing with phones. I find them to be a real pain in the ass. Phones, I do 5S stuff, but that's about it. So, we'll go ahead. We're going to get rid of this. I can't believe that these look so beautiful and shiny. They look fine right now, but I know damn well inside these things are, it's most definitely leaded solder. Now, where's my big... good solder. What the hell? Where'd it go? Oh, yeah. I remember. For demo purposes, I had it on the back here. We need a large amount of solder, so we're going to use... What do we got? This stuff is 1.6 mil. And we're just going to go ahead and tin that up. Well, that's interesting. That is completely destroyed. See the angle that's on? It actually melted through the handle. I've had this for years, and I've never had that melt through. That's crazy. Huh. I've never had that happen. Live streaming. The real world here, people. That is nuts. That's completely melted out. That is so bizarre. Well, so be it. It's off now. Microsoft Access. Yes, I have Beginner's Tech. So, if all else fails, we'll go back to the Unger that's been around since my teenage years. I have not changed this tip since my teenage years either. Believe it or not, guys. This thing is still original. Unbelievable. You can't even buy this 5200 Unger like in the last probably 15 years either. I think they're long gone. How can I do this that we're still on camera? So you're gonna have to usually do is add a bunch of solder because this lead-free crap isn't gonna do anything. And yeah, that's gonna suck. Forget the third hand BS. The thing's too light. It's hard doing these things for the camera. It really is. Here, let's see. Operating around a camera is a pain in the butt. Whatever. We'll figure it out, guys. We will figure it out. As we always do. I'll try and see the chat here, but it takes... Like, that is a high power iron, and it's having a hard time getting into that. That is just garbage. And then we'll use wick on it after. What the hell? That's what happens when you... I can't get around the camera. Interesting. interested in doing some paid lessons on Access? No, I'm by far no expert in Access. The only reason I know how to use Access at all is because some of the high-speed data formats from data logging I was doing came out in Microsoft Access tables. So there, let's just get these off. The only reason I was using the solder sucker first, normally you could just pull these off. I found that sometimes the solder was wrapped around the backside, and yeah, this is something weird going on. But whatever. We'll just, yeah, see, again, this have fucking leaded soldered garbage. Maybe I can't leave this video up. Come on. I need that third hand now. Need it now. Those are stuck. Well and truly stuck. It goes around the back side. It's the big blob. But I have enough lead solder in there that we should be good. See, it still won't let go, even with that much force. Might have to use the rework. Come on. I am reefing on that. Oh, Jesus. That was foolish. Yeah. Junk. Like that solder is completely molten there, and that wire will not come off. It is well and truly glued. So, there. Now we can see. You can see the coloration on these pads. See how it's completely gone, like really ugly and opaque. That's where we're going to do what I started doing, and we're going to clean that right up and get rid of it. What I'll probably use is solder wick on this right now. I'll probably just do it offline because working around this camera really sucks. I need to switch tripods. This is nearly impossible to do this. But what I'll do is I'll hit it with some flux, and I'll just take the solder wick and just get rid of all this stuff, and then we'll tin it up. We can try right now. It's a real pain to work around this. What do you recommend on irons for Arduino projects? Well, I love this WEP for many years, but I can't believe it just melted a tip, like an actual handle. The Heiko irons are the way to go if you're buying an iron to do electronics work. Just buy the Heiko from Adafruit or whatever source you desire, and you'll never go wrong. You really won't. It's impossible to go too far wrong. So, how can I do this? No, not H-A-G-O, it's H-A-K-K-O? Or just H-A-K-O, I forget. There we go. Now we're getting somewhere. Cooking with gas now. Let's see how that iron won't even melt in there, but if we add some lead solder, we can get rid of all this lead-free crap. And there. Now we're looking. See the difference on these pins? I'm not sure whether it'll come through on this camera, but this one is completely shiny. These two, not so bad. Mostly because I accidentally touched this one. So we'll clean our tip. Not like that. Retin the iron. And then we will retin these. And this is not the best tip for this because this is a very conical tip. It would be nice to have a wedge. And if we've done our job right, what we should get is 3 nice shiny solder blobs on there. Now we are ready to accept a proper tinned wire and not this garbage with this lead-free solder on it. And those 3 are all separated, nice and clean. The flux did its job. We are good. That's what we should look like. and we are ready to go ahead. And what we'll do is we'll trim. Now this one, because the heat shrink failed on the back side, it all came apart because of all the butchering I did because of the camera. We'll have to reseal the back side, and then we will set this right approximately here, and we will trim these wires and just solder them right on. And that's about it. And also these wires are lead solder, so we'll cut those back, solder those right on. We'll be in good shape. That's kind of where we're at. What type of solder do you use? 6040. This is my Nextech from the source. I've had this for years. This is, what is this crap? 1.6 millimeter. I don't know even what brand that is. Oh, it's also Nextech. And then I also have a bunch of Chinese solders that I'm about to try out. I haven't used any of these. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. But yeah, these ones I've had for a long time. That one's actually turning yellow. I love this stuff. Works pretty good. 6040 leaded solder, not lead free. Don't even try that stuff. You'll waste your time. You won't get anywhere. It has to be leaded solder. What you should have running is also a fume extractor, which I don't right now. Yeah, it's do as I say, not as I do, guys. There we go. We're off to a good start. I'm kind of frustrated with working around this camera right now, to be totally honest. I need to come up with something a little bit better here. There's a tripod between me and you, and this is a real pain. I'm making things look a lot harder than they should be, so I think I'll cut the stream here. What about the fumes? Yeah, you should have one of these running all the time. This is a fume extractor. I did not fire it up here. Like I say, do as I say, not as I do. And use a fume hood or an extractor. They are very cheap on Amazon. Boulder bracket. Yes, Kurt, you are right. I need a bracket right up here, but this is the first time that I have tried a mobile live stream. I think what I'm going to do is move the Make Me TV webcasting computer in here, and then I can do like much higher quality stream. I don't know how this stream quality is coming across to you guys. On my screen it's debatable how good it is, so especially for fine stuff like this, trying to express what a solder joint looks like. I'm not sure whether that's coming across well, but I'll see on the replay. When I tried this before, it was debatable. UFO Hunter says choppy. Beginner Tech said it looks good. Interesting. It was 4K JVC. Yeah, I don't have a single 4K anything, so do you keep a schedule, Rob, or Bob? I used to do schedule broadcast every Monday night, but this winter has been a little tough. You can check out my most recent video on Friday to find out why it's been so tough. I just did kind of a breakdown of what happened, but I used to, for 2 years, I ran live shows every Monday night, Tech Live, and then live builds here and there. But right now, if you want to know when I'm going live, if it's scheduled, it'll be on the main page of the channel, right at the top. But there is nothing really scheduled. Oh, you teach at the high school. Very cool. Yeah, I wish I had a 4K camera. Maybe one of the suppliers will send me one of these days. We'll see if we get that far or not. It's tough to say. Yeah, I wish. But hopefully my other quad's drying out, and we'll put this together the rest of the way later and redo the arms that I have the motors on in the wrong direction. It's one of these days, guys. So be it. If you guys don't mind, if you haven't already, click a thumbs up on this video. It really helps the channel. Hope you guys can come around another day, maybe when I'm a little less scattered, and run cam as a webcam, perhaps. I don't have a run cam. Tomorrow Cat. Micro. I don't have any micros here set up. I do have a video coming up with 2 micros on the channel. You will see a, what is it? Eachine E010, and then you will see the QX90 from Eachine. And I have a head-to-head comparison coming up. The video is already shot, except for the outdoors, and yeah, that's the micros that you'll see on the channel. Otherwise, you're only going to see larger ones. Cool beans. Alright guys, I'm out of here. Great to hang out with you guys. Really appreciate you guys stopping by. It was nice to hook up with you guys and just spend some time, shoot the breeze, and build some cool things. Have a fantastic week this week. Build something cool and share it back. Let me know what you're building. Hit me up on any of the socials. They're all linked on the channel. Cheers guys.